Yeah, what a lovely day it is to be alive. And just a few hours or so, with your banner will take off, and then after with your banner, it's going to be EPL starting off, and a whole lot to look forward to. There is Jose Mourinho, there's Pep Guardiola, there is Antonio Conte, there is Jurgen Klopp trying to really show us what Admeta football means, and then there is the old wily Arsene Wenger who will complain and whine about every other person's transfer, and then he would not do his own. And then there is, these other new coaches trying to prove their mark, especially Stefan Bilic, and then there is the coach, the former Southampton coaches now at Everton, a whole lot, and then all these big players, Pogba here, there is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think Manchester actually will be the beehive of activity, because if it's not happening on the blue half, it's going to be happening on the red half. Manchester United, for instance, Jose Mourinho has changed the training regime, the training in the morning and training in the evening. They've also, at Man City, Pep Guardiola has changed the way they eat. Isn't that what Arsene Wenger did in 1996 when he came in? Changed their food habits, what they eat and how they eat it, and what they drink and all that. Why he moved Paul Merson, Tony Adams, and the rest of the crew from being alcoholic to real professional football players. Yeah, credit to him for changing the way the English league is. Are we going to see somebody who can do an Eric Cantona square or a Thierry Henry thing? Well, I really don't know. There's a whole lot of side to this old drama that we'll look at and tell ourselves that, okay, this is the real deal. This is the season where the EPL come and take back its pride of place, where the big boys get back into the top four, and then they compete on the European scene as the best teams or the best clubs at their different level, where they have to look up to the German teams and the Spanish team and face them eyeball to eyeball and show the kind of stuff that they're made of. Man, there's a whole lot of angle to look at it from. There's a whole lot of things that you want to look at in this coming season, but I don't think that because of all of these coaches and the few players that they brought in, all of a sudden the EPL will just overtake the Spanish La Liga. In my own opinion, I might be wrong, but this is my personal opinion. In my own opinion, I still think that the Spanish La Liga is the best league in the world where football is played because of the aesthetic football. But haven't you noticed something? That since the advent of Pep Guardiola at FC Barcelona, the long ball, the traditional long ball of the English teams are beginning to pipe down. Everybody wants to play, the tiki-taka passing football. And now, eventually, the king of tiki-taka is in the EPL, Pep Guardiola. The product of the late Johan Cruyff, the product of LVG, Louis van Gaal. So, we're looking at a league that would explode. Would Jose Mourinho also play that pack the balls, defensive, boring kind of football that people accuse him of? I don't accuse him of it, because if he gives you a result, then stick to it. Would he stick to that system at Manchester United? A team that I've always liked to go gung-ho, attack from the wings, cross the ball into the middle, score. Remember when they had Eric Cantona? Remember when they had Dwight York and the co? Well, would they change the system and play, score one goal in the first minute and defend it to the end? Is that what Manchester United is going to play? What would Man City do? The funny thing is the task is very difficult. Last season, Pellegrini, as bad as it was, took Man City to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Does Man City have a squad right now that can go to the semi-finals or surpass that position and get to the finals? I don't think so. Would Manchester City win the league title this season with John Stones? Yes, as good as people talk about John Stones, last season it was with Everton. How good were they defensively? How good was he as a man who organized the defense? There's a whole lot of questions to be asked. Then let's zero in on Arsene Wenger. What's really wrong with Arsenal? Is it that the players are not there, or probably the coach is not using the right tactics? I mean, all of the times that Arsene Wenger has succeeded at Arsenal, won the title or played in the Champions League finals, they virtually used twin strikers. It was either Dennis Beckham, Kanu Nwankwo, Anelka, Dennis Beckham and Thierry Henry, or Kanu Nwankwo, Thierry Henry. There was always a twin striker. But since it changed to this crowded midfield, trying to play like the Barcelona team with three strikers, a 4-3-3 formation, there's always been a struggle. Now, would Wenger change? Would he decide to say, you know what? I have all the players I need now. I have a defensive enforcer, defensive midfield enforcer in Granit Xhaka. I also have El Nani. I also have Coquelin. And then, these other creative players. Let me get in one more striker and play twin strikers. Who would that person be? Is it Lacazette? Is it Antoine Griezmann, who already understands the way Giroud play? What time will tell? The transfer window still got a few days to go. But let's look past that one. How's the season going to pan out? The whole season. Who's going to be in the top 4? Who's going to be in the top 7? Who's going to be in the relegation dogfight? One team I'm nominating already to go back down straight as they come up is Hull City. I think Hull City is going to go straight back down. Watford, will make a fight again. I think Jude Odiogalu, I expect him, I don't want to say I think now, I expect him to do more than 20 goals this season in all competition for Watford. What about the other player? Would Kane do a third season lucky? Would Vardy be a one season wonder? Definitely, I don't think that Leicester City will be in the top 4. That place will be too big for them. Would they do very well in the Champions League? I also don't think so. There's a whole lot to look up to in this gamut of what will happen in the EPL. But let's not forget that it is not just the EPL where football is played. The German Bundesliga. How would Carlo Ancelotti survive in the German Bundesliga? Would Thomas Tuchel, clean him out and just come from behind and sneak that title? It looked likely. I'm going to put my smart money on Dortmund shocking Bayern Munich this season. Would AC Milan or Inter Milan usurp Juventus with the fat boy Gonzalo Higuain? What time will tell. What about in Spain? Something tells me that the luck of Zinedine Zidane will be more than enough because he's trying to build a team that is not too Ronaldo dependent. And would they overtake Cristiano, Lionel Messi and the MSN? I think so, but there's one thing with the Barcelona team. That guy called Suarez is still very, very hungry. The fact that it's not going to be nominated for the Ballon d'Or would cause that Barcelona team again to be ignited, and then they will fight from the start to the end. But I think that defense, it will take them time to mix in. And then what about Paris Saint-Germain? Would they still continue to dominate the French Ligue 1? Would Monaco rise up from the ashes of mediocrity and obscurity and come and upstage it? Well, every day, every week, I'll be here to give my take on incidents as they happen. Before the games, I'll give you my pre-game analysis, and then after the game, I'll give you my post-game analysis or review of matches that I see. I'm going to depend on the ones that I see. I'm not going to be able to see every game, but the few ones that I see, I'm going to come here and talk about it, and then it depends on your comments, on the downline of this YouTube or video update. And whatever your opinion is, it is your opinion. Learn to respect the next man's opinion and learn to respect mine. I'm not going to speak for everybody. I'm just going to speak for myself. And let's say let's have fun while we do it. We do things on radio. Let's also take it out on social media, but let's be nice to ourselves while we're doing it. Let's make friends rather than make enemies. Nobody hates any club. Everybody just is entitled to their opinion, and let's respect it. My name remains Esiogene Idafe Matthew, and I love you guys all. I love you all for always being here, showing love and support. It's been 12 years that I've been on the microphone. It's been a while, 12 years. I'm celebrating. I'm feeling good about that today. You guys have a lovely day. I'll come to you again. Until then, peace. Ciao.